25 News at 6 starts with breaking news.
A breaking news: a nurse severely injured, attacked by a patient at Palms West Hospital. This cell phone video shows the suspect being taken into custody in the middle of heavy traffic on nearby Southern Boulevard. Good evening. I'm Todd McDermott. Thanks for joining us here at 6 o'clock.
And I'm Tiffany Kenny. We begin with that breaking news. The Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office says this assault happened around 1 o'clock this afternoon. Investigative reporter Terry Parker has been working to learn more about the investigation and joins us live from Palms West Hospital in Loxahatchee. Terry?
Right. This attack happened in a third-floor patient room here at Palms West, and I've just learned that the attack was so severe that this suspect is going to be charged with attempted murder. We're going to show you that cell phone video of him walking down Southern Boulevard just moments later, bare-chested, hospital sensors still attached to his chest as deputies move in to take him into custody. A viewer took this video of a man wearing only shorts walking down the middle of Southern Boulevard this afternoon, just opposite Palms West Hospital, with a sheriff's vehicle behind him. At one point, you can see he starts running, and then when he sees another deputy approaching him, he lies down on the roadway where he is taken into custody. The sheriff's office tells us that the suspect attacked a nurse around 1:20 this afternoon in a patient room. She has been transported to St. Mary's Hospital in critical condition. The sheriff's office is releasing no further details at this time. A hospital spokeswoman tells me they also have no comment, so it's unclear what sparked the attack and whether the suspect used any type of weapon in that attack and how he got out of the hospital and out onto the street. As far as that suspect, we still don't have his name. He has been taken to another local nearby hospital and will be kept there under guard overnight. Probably be charged tomorrow with that attempted murder charge. And also I hear that the nurse is in very critical condition with extremely severe injuries. We'll let you know more as this case continues to develop. But for right now, live in West Palm Beach, I'm Terry Parker, WPBF 25 News.
Longtime nurse fighting for her life after deputies say she was brutally attacked while working at Palms West Hospital in Loxahatchee.
Investigators say Stephen Scantlebury had been acting paranoid for days. Witnesses say he stood over the nurse yesterday afternoon, hitting her repeatedly in the face with his fist. Police say he broke nearly every bone in her face and that the nurse may lose the use of both of her eyes. He then ran out of the hospital and eventually onto Southern Boulevard, where he was arrested. I'm Tiffany Kenny.
I'm Todd McDermott. Thanks for joining us here at 6 o'clock. We have live team coverage for you tonight as we look into this attack. We learn more about the suspect and what happened inside the hospital. First, in an exclusive interview, investigative reporter Terry Parker spoke with the victim's daughter, a doctor herself, who's demanding answers about hospital security.
And Terry, she is asking why a dangerous psychiatric patient was even brought there in the first place.
That's exactly right. It was supposed to be just a normal shift for 67-year-old nurse Leila, but in seconds, all that changed. And tonight, in an exclusive interview, her daughter, who is a doctor herself, has these questions. She's outraged over what she calls serious hospital failures, from security concerns as to why a violent psychiatric patient was even brought to this hospital in the first place. Tonight, she shares her frustrations, her fears, and her questions. This is Leila, the nurse brutally attacked inside a Palms West hospital room by Stephen Scantlebury. He was caught moments later running shirtless down Southern Boulevard.
I got a call yesterday at 2 p.m. from her phone, and I answered. It wasn't her. It was someone else. I started freaking out, and they told me that she was assaulted by a patient, and I need to get down there, immediately.
Her daughter, Cindy, a physician herself, doesn't want their last names used for privacy. She tells me she rushed frantically from Melbourne to her mother's bedside in the ICU at St. Mary's Medical Center to find out it was worse than she thought.
She has multiple fractures of the orbit, subarachnoid, subdural bleeding in the brain, clavicle fracture, swollen eyes, bruises in both eyes, bruises in the face. To me, it looks like it's more than just, one blow. It's like several blows, and it was pretty intense. I just find it surprising that, they could have intervened sooner.
And until I gave her a copy of the police report, Cindy says she didn't even know exactly what happened.
Asked so many people, but no one can give me a straight answer as to what happened to her. Everyone just said it was an assault, not specifics.
Adding to Cindy's anger, that Scantlebury got out of the hospital before being caught by deputies.
This guy was on the third floor. He escaped the hospital. He was on the road Like, where was security in all of this? This shouldn't have happened at a hospital.
The suspect, who police say was Baker active for psychiatric issues, was brought to Palms West, even though Cindy says it does not have a psychiatric ward.
Palms West does not have a psychiatry unit. They're not equipped to handle Baker active patients. So I wonder, if he had a thorough psychiatric evaluation.
HCA Florida confirms Palms West Hospital is not a Baker Act receiving facility, but says if a patient comes to the hospital for a medical condition and starts to exhibit signs or certain behaviors, a mental health assessment is performed to determine if the patient qualifies for a Baker Act designation. Scantlebury is now facing attempted murder charges, and meanwhile, Cindy and her family are left reeling.
I think I was in shock yesterday. I'm kind of like sad now and angry, upset and very upset and sad, and just like she's everything to me. Like she's my whole world.
Cindy tells me that the whole family was supposed to go to Atlanta this weekend to celebrate her little daughter's first birthday. Instead, she's right there by her mother's bedside in the ICU, waiting and hoping that her mother will recover after all of these surgeries, and of course, still facing all these questions. I've reached out to the hospital once again, trying to get answers as to how all this happened and how it went so far. Terry Parker, WPBF 25 News.
So I'll take it. Thank you. Chaos and panic in a local hospital where a psychiatric patient was on the loose Tuesday after almost beating a nurse to death. Tonight, we have the recordings of the 911 calls as the emergency played out on the 3rd floor of Palms West Hospital. Our investigative reporter, Terry Parker, just exclusively obtained the recordings and brings them to you now. Terry?
Yes, there is sheer panic and terror in people's voices. A hospital visitor is mistakenly telling the 911 operator a patient has just stabbed a nurse with scissors and she's lying on the floor bleeding. Other visitors barricaded inside patients' rooms, and an administrator of Palms West asking for backup. He says he's worried about the Baker Act patient running through the hospital and he needs deputies immediately. And we hear from a stunned driver who saw the suspect running down Southern Boulevard. Let's listen.
Did she hurt somebody with the scissors?
Yes.
He stabbed a nurse?
He went away. What is she away? Yeah, no, I got the scissors.
Okay, does he still have the scissors, yes or no?
Yes, and yes, yes. Yes, he still has it.
Okay, where is the injured nurse?
The nurse is in the floor.
The nurse is on the floor. Is she breathing?
Yes.
We had a Baker Act beat a staff member unconscious, now running around the building.
You said they assaulted the employee until they passed out?
Yeah, unconscious. I'm not worried about that part. I need the Baker I dealt with.
I'm in Palms West Hospital. I'm on the 3rd floor. There's some guy in here that's nuts. He's running around in dark-colored shorts, no shirt, no shoes, no socks.
Does he have any weapons on him?
I don't know. We slammed the door shut. Me and my sister are standing up against the door so he could not come in here if he tried. They're still carrying on. This has been going on for over 5 minutes.
Okay, but a person was standing in the road and literally with just shorts on and lead stuff to him from the hospital, stood in front of a postal driver, forced them to stop the car in the middle of Southern Boulevard.
Stephen Eric Scantlebury is charged with attempted murder for beating that 67-year-old nurse. He escaped the hospital and was taken into custody outside the hospital, walking down Southern Boulevard shirtless, his hospital lead still attached. The nurse remains in critical condition in St. Mary's Medical Center. And tonight, Scantlebury's lawyer is calling this a clear mental health breakdown and crisis. I've been talking to the nurse's daughter, who is angry that a violent patient was admitted to a hospital unequipped to deal with psychiatric patients, and she is just praying that her mother recovers. We'll stay on this one for you. Terry Parker, WPBF 25 News.
Nearly a week now since the brutal attack on a nurse in Palms West Hospital in Loxahatchee. We are still investigating what happened. You're about to hear from the victim's family while she's still in the hospital with severe injuries to her face and to her brain. We have team coverage for you tonight. Reporter Angela Rozier spoke with an expert about hospital security.
First, investigative reporter Terry Parker spoke with the family of that nurse about their mother's condition and their outrage over what they heard on 911 calls obtained exclusively by WPBF 25 News. Terry?
That's right. Tonight, the nurse's heartbroken family tells me that they think this never should have happened, this brutal attack, and they are furious over a 911 call that I obtained Friday, made from inside that hospital.
I was angry, to be honest, that someone could let this happen to her.
Cindy Joseph and her brother, Chris Lyle, say their world has turned upside down. Their mother, a nurse for 21 years at Palms West Hospital, beaten almost to death Tuesday by Stephen Scantlebury in a third-floor patient room. Scantlebury then escaped and was arrested running down Southern Boulevard. Leela Lal airlifted to St. Mary's trauma unit with almost every bone in her face broken.
I couldn't recognize her. Her both eyes were swollen. She was intubated. Her whole face on the right side was swollen. Multiple fractures throughout her face, bleeding in the brain.
It's rough seeing your mom, like the person that took care of you for your entire life, and then, you know, seeing her in that state where you can't really do anything.
The siblings are outraged that Palms West even admitted Scantlebury, a psychiatric patient, under a Baker Act hold because the hospital is not a Baker Act receiving facility and lacks the training and security needed.
I read that, you know, and heard from people that he was acting delusional on the days adding up to the attack. Those should have been flags for people to step in or maybe add security before this incident happened. It was preventable for sure.
The attack sparking support and condemnation. Nurses calling for more protection in hospitals. And more questions tonight from the family after I reported on the 911 calls Friday. Listen to who appears to be the CEO of Palms West talking to the 911 operator.
We had a Baker Act beat a staff member unconscious, now running around the building.
You said they assaulted the employee until they passed out?
Yeah, unconscious. I'm not worried about that part. I need the Baker I dealt with.
I was furious. She gave everything to that hospital. And to hear this, whoever it was on the recording say that they didn't care about her, that hit me like in a way I can't describe.
They didn't want to spend the money to have adequate security, and all they cared about was lining their own pocket. And I think we'll be able to prove that in this case.
I have reached out to Palms West Hospital asking why they admitted this particular patient to their facility, why he was left unsecured, and if they have any comment on that 911 call. Meantime, the family says that they are now weighing legal action. They believe that their mother deserved better. Terry Parker, WPBF 25 News.
I would appreciate you give us a hand with this because this is not normal behavior, and he's paranoid about something and he won't share anything.
First at 6 and only on WPBF 25 News, new insight tonight about the hours before Stephen Scantlebury beat a hospital nurse nearly to death at Palms West Hospital. Newly obtained officer body camera video reveals the man's apparent paranoia, his mother's desperate plea to deputies for help, and Scantlebury's refusal to get treatment when deputies offered him several options. But was it a missed chance to prevent the violence that happened in the hospital one day later? Good evening and thank you for joining us here at 6 o'clock. I'm Todd McDermott.
And I'm Felicia Rodriguez. Investigative reporter Terry Parker continues our team coverage tonight. And Terry, the video gives us some new insight into Scantlebury's mental state.
In it, you can see Stephen Eric Scantlebury was spiraling. His own mother didn't know what to do. She's told deputies that he had become paranoid and withdrawn. Deputies offered to take him to a mental health facility, but he refused, even laughing at the suggestion. Now we're looking at a closer look at the red flags that may have gone unnoticed and the warning signs that may have prevented this tragedy.
Hey, sir, what's up? Were you trying to get my attention?
Yes.
The day before he allegedly beat a hospital nurse almost to death, Stephen Eric Scantlebury flagged down a sheriff's deputy outside Dunkin' Donuts, saying he was worried about stuff going on.
I didn't know what to do, so I had to call the police.
Okay, well, I'm here, so how can I help you?
Scantlebury wouldn't talk to the first deputy, but seemed to connect to the second deputy who showed up minutes later.
You guys have a family dispute over something?
Yeah.
Okay. You want to go talk to somebody about it? You just want to talk to somebody? You want to go somewhere? You want to...
I need someone that I can trust.
As that deputy gets Scantlebury a coffee, his mother, Gloria Scantlebury, shows up, obviously concerned.
It sounds like he's very paranoid or something.
He is.
Okay.
I have no idea where this is coming from.
Okay, all right.
His wife doesn't know where it's coming from. Okay. He was in a car accident. I don't want him to go anywhere.
Gloria Scantlebury says her son was in a car crash January 7th and has become increasingly paranoid about the people involved in the crash.
I got out of the car NASCAR style, like freaking out, and I went to see if the lady was alive.
Okay.
He's a whack job. Look at her. Look in the latch.
Who's that? Your mom's a whack job?
No.
Oh.
Probably, I guess.
Deputies ask if Scantlebury suffered a head injury. His mom says now she thinks so. She says he doesn't use drugs or even pain medication, but one thing she knows is this is serious.
There's never been anything, but at this point, I don't want him to hurt himself or anybody else.
Do you want to go to JFK North Hospital and talk to a mental health professional?
No.
Deputies end up giving Scantlebury's number to counselors at the South County Mental Health Facility, and he says he will take their call, but his mother is increasingly worried.
Something's not right with his train of thought.
Well, we can see that.
Okay.
But right now we don't have the criteria right now.
I just wish he would run, then you could detain him.
Scantlebury's mother telling deputies she wished he would run so they could detain him, but that didn't happen. Instead, later that day, Scantlebury walked himself to Palms West Hospital where he was admitted, Baker acted, and then sent to an unsecured room with no guard where he allegedly jumped off a bed and attacked 67-year-old nurse Leela Lal. And that's raising important questions tonight about how this horrifying situation could have been prevented. Terry Parker, WPBF 25 News.